Hello there, I'm Ron Boone.
There's not a lot of energy in this building right now, Mr. Boone.
It wasn't a lot of energy this afternoon for me either, but we don't have to, I guess we do have to develop a little energy. The players are the one got to muster up that
I
energy.
often feel that our energy level and how we feel is a fair representation of what we're about to see. When we're on road trips and I'm super tired, I feel like often then the players have less good games. We aren't asked to do as much, but is there any chance that the quick little Sacramento thing got us tired, or are we lack of interest because Orlando doesn't have marquee stars, or because the grind of having to win every single night is exhausting? What's your thought?
All of it. I mean, it can be all of it. So how do players muster up the energy knowing that they're playing a team that they've already beaten by 40, and knowing how they beat them? And you heard this morning Quinn Snyder is very adamant about being prepared and ready for this team. This team could sneak up and beat a 2-game win streak.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
There are nearly 500 without Alfred Payton. There's black marks all over the floor. And look at this, Kylie. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but we've got these poor people that are out here. This is the great David Steele, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to join us. Where are you off to, my friend? We're live. We're live. It's called On the Floor.
On the Floor. Awesome.
Yeah.
How you doing, David?
We're good. This is David Steele. He's the longtime Orlando Magic TV voice. Maybe the only Orlando Magic TV voice. Is that right?
No. Chip Carey did TV for 9 seasons and then went to baseball, and I moved from radio to television.
Oh, but you were with the original.
I was.
Right. Okay.
Radio play-by-play.
Right. I was close.
Yes. I've
Sorry.
been here since the beginning.
Yes,
Long time.
Question real fast. You guys have 5 or 7 international players.
Ooh, I'd have to think about it. Fournier, Vucevic.
When we first played you back in November,
Burch is Canadian.
We had 5. You had 5. So have you added a couple since then?
No, we haven't added any. So that would still be the number. And you guys have a lot.
We have, I think, anywhere from 8 to 9.
More than any team in the league.
I think we might have 9.
Yeah, we're right,
Yeah,
right there.
unless you're from New York and a short guard who's awesome, then we don't want you.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good club. We've noticed. Not bad.
Here, you want my question I'm trying to figure out every day? Because I think if you're honest and you look at our roster, we're 15-4, I think, in our last 19. You don't look at the roster and think that. Like that, James Harden says that, Steph Curry. So it's Rudy, and it's his presence since he's come back.
Yeah.
So, how important, if you take the best defensive player in the league, where do you put him in his impact on a game compared to the best offensive players in the game?
Great. That's good conversation right there, isn't it? We have a guy that we think he's only played 17 games, but we think that he impacts the game on the defensive end similarly to what Gobert does. Jonathan Isaac, he's our rookie from Florida State, and I know you're deep into the numbers, and if you dig deep, David, you'll see what we've done when he's been on the floor. It's a small sample size, but he's got a chance to be very good defensively.
And Rudy wasn't who along the way in the D-League. It took a day of rolling his suitcase up the tarmac in L.A., going from staying at the Ritz-Carlton to the La Quinta the next night, and a few growing pains along the way for him to get to the point he's at.
It's a tough business for most rookies, right? Except for you got one that doesn't appear to have much of a transition problem.
Well, he's awesome. I mean, only the first game. Maybe the first 2. The second game, I think he had 24 points in that ball game. Then he was 1 for 7, I think, in the first game he played, and he was there, and he didn't know what to expect. Why? Because he had already mentally prepared himself to come off the bench, and then all of a sudden he gets thrown in there as a starter, and I don't think he was ready then.
So
but he wasn't, just so you understand what thrown in means, he wasn't announced as a starter. The guy who was announced as a starter suddenly was unable to play after being announced. So it was literally thrown in.
Fell
for
into
your
it, huh? He's a great example of why I am totally against the tanking thing. We have a lot of fans, probably 7 or 8 teams around the NBA that think their team needs to lose as many games as possible. I'm not a subscriber to that, and Donovan Mitchell is Exhibit A.
Well, Rudy Gobert would be Exhibit B.
Yeah, I mean they're all over the league, so you can get.
Kawhi Leonard would be Exhibit C.
Yeah, and they go. You could do the whole alphabet pretty easily with guys that weren't drafted in number 1 or number 2 or even 3.
Here's 2 notes for you on Donovan. One of which I don't think either of these are in our notes. So if the Jazz he's averaging 19.9, so he's going to end up averaging 20. If the Jazz have a winning record with a 20-point-a-game score, it's only happened twice, Carmelo and Tim Duncan, since Duncan did it. having a rookie score 20 points a game and have a winning record. Carmelo won 43 games, so if the Jazz win more, then they've won more than anyone since Duncan. Probably the common thread is David Robinson, Rudy Gobert. The other one that jumps out to me is, and this gets into advanced stats, which you guys actually use a lot in your broadcast. So he's averaging 20 points with an effective field goal percentage of 51%. The last guard to do that as a rookie is Michael Jordan.
Puts him in some pretty good company.
Pretty good company.
Are you an advanced stat guy?
I fight him all the time.
No, that is not true. Take credit. You should be proud of this, Ron Boone. You should be proud of it.
He's got me.
You're old school, Ron.
He's got me straddling this fence and leaning.
Toward Turner. I've been pulling him in too a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, yep. We're both kind of old school,
He's in.
but I get it.
He's in much. Actually, what's really interesting as being an advanced stat guy who never played is when he suddenly saw synergy and some of the second spectrum things, he starts asking me questions that are very clearly where these stats are valuable from a player standpoint, where he loves he goes right 80% of the time, or he goes off guys who Alec Burks goes away from the pick over 50% of the time. Like some of those second level stats is the things he.
And for the most part, that's all a part of preparing to defend a guy that has weaknesses, I think, and strong points. I can understand that very, very clearly.
Some of it you don't get. Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to get it, but maybe that's the case. No, he does a great job, and he's got me leaning on the other side.
Somebody who knows the game like you, though, the eye test is probably most important.
And that's what we rely on, the eye test and experience. Experience has a lot to do with I think, for ex-players in this business.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's interesting.
Thanks for letting me come by. I got to go get some. I
good
gotta
luck.
Eat. We got to eat.
Good,
We're going to LA after the game, and the food is on the plane. It's airplane food.
Oh, so ours is so good that I've changed my eating habit. Yeah,
ours isn't very good. We need to talk to your caterer.
We've changed, and so our food is so healthy now on the plane.
Late. But even if it's good, it's too late.
Well, that's actually, so he agrees with you. I actually have decided that the plane food is health value better than the media room
that's
lack
a good
of
point.
health value.
So the trade-off may be about the same.
You're great.
Thanks,
Always
Dave.
good to see you.
All right,
that is the great David Steele. He just carried this through a show with no energy. Now I have energy.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add, or should we wrap it? Or?
I don't think there's a lot, other than the fact that the Jazz got to be careful. They beat this team by 40. I think if I remember right, when the Jazz beat the Orlando Magic back in November, they went on a 7-1 run during that time. I think was during that streak.
Us or them?
Yeah, we did.
This was the Derek Favors iteration of the team.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, and against the Magic, Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert had great games.
Right.
Both of them. Yes.
All right, Nick Vucevic. Here's the thing that's interesting about the Magic that you can watch tonight. Why aren't they any good? Like, you prep for them. They do not look like they should be a lottery tanking bound team. Fournier seems good. Gordon seems good. Vucevic's numbers are good. I'm not sure he's good. There's something. Is it just not fit? What is it? And why isn't it better? Who knows? Did you get the best physical specimen in the history of the NBA on camera? Okay. His shirts are particularly tight, but if I had a body like that, I'd wear a tight shirt.
What do you think? 3%?
I mean,
maybe?
That is.
Maybe 2%?
I am comfortable to say that is awesome.
That's about a 2% body fat, right? No.
Anybody else who's out there
and jumps out of the gym.
Yeah. That is a physical specimen, ladies and gentlemen. This is not. That is. We wrap it up on the floor.